everybody. Welcome to our internet talk show. I'm just saying. My name is Americus.
And I'm Melodramatic.
And we are so excited to have you guys here today. Now, the topics we're talking about today were actually provided to us from you guys, our viewers. And our first topic we're going to talk about today is, should you play games in a relationship?
Yeah. So, well, if y'all don't kind of understand the question, what we mean by is that when it comes to dating, not necessarily being in the relationship already, but when it comes to dating, we are guilty for doing certain unnecessary things to not show how we really feel. So some look at games as pure cheating, leading on, telling you one thing and doing another. But sometimes games are played all around. Even if you are the player or you're the one getting played, whoever it is, we're all playing some
type of game. Definitely.
The most common game that we all play is the phone game. And that list goes on from who texting first, who calling last, who's calling too much, and so on. So for those of you out here who think y'all are the innocent ones and y'all really trying to get to know somebody, but for some reason y'all tell yourself, well, I'm not going to call them right now, or I'm not going to call them back right away because I don't want them to think I'm thirsty, or I want them to think I'm
playing a game.
You're playing a game. Now, we're not saying you're wrong for playing the game.
But you are playing the game.
But admit you're playing the game. The constant things that we go through when it comes to game playing is trying not to look like the sweater. Now, some of y'all out here who really don't get the hint. Y'all are sweating, calling, text to God, damn, we got to call you back just to say stop calling us. But for others of us who are sane and got some common sense, we kind of sometimes punish ourselves, especially when we really like the person.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to call them or I'm not going to text them right away because, I don't want them to think this. First impression is everything. And then as we get down the line, impression, second impression, third impression, those plays a big part too. The way I look at dating is like a war. You're the conqueror or you're the village. Now, the conqueror is most likely the man in a sense. It is. And the village is most like the woman. I feel that...
Because they with the whole village. Keep going.
Yeah, okay. Basically, when you're the conqueror, you sought out the village. You have a reason for wanting the village, and you're going to use it you're going to try to get the village. You're going to take your army. Hey, come field army. I don't know. You're going to take your army, and you're going to try to conquer the village. Now, you might try to enslave the village. You might try to make a peace treaty with the village. Or you might just want to run through the village and keep on going to the next village. So all I got to do is ask yourself, what plays do you play? And just because you're the village don't necessarily mean you're the weaker one. You can persuade and manipulate, conquer as the best of your ability. But the point I'm trying to get with that metaphor is that it's a game. It's a war game. And who's going to come out on top?
I feel like the whole playing is hard because now in society it seems as if you have to play a game in order to get what you want. Like if you ever have somebody who you don't like all of a sudden you are the conqueror. When you don't like a person that much
and they like you more.
And they like you more, you are the conqueror. But all of a sudden if you come across a person and you like them a whole lot more than what they like you, you become the village. Like you all of a sudden weak and your game isn't as strong.
In argument to that, if you're used to being the conqueror and there's somebody around who for some reason kind of, break your defenses.
Weak at the knees.
Yeah, poison you.
Can't hardly speak. Lose all control. And something comes up. Sorry.
But yeah, and it's kind of like you got to play the game different. People who are hard to conquer are the ones who are hard to get, or even the ones who are worth waiting for. I don't call them villages. I call them kingdoms. I feel like they're their own kingdom. They got bigger defenses, they got bigger walls, and they got great assets that are worth conquering. But in some way, you got to be more strategic when it comes to conquering a kingdom. Now, a kingdom is the bad bitch, the debonair nigga, the one who is worth more than the hood rat hoe trifling nigga who is the village. A kingdom is hard to conquer. So, for those of you who say, I'm sick of niggas playing games, I'm sick of all this game playing, you're playing games too. There's nowhere in the world that you're just, when you first start talking to somebody, you're just being out in the open about what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like. Some people are very cautious and safe when it comes to talking about, what they want from a certain particular person. So we're all guilty of playing games. And I feel like nothing's wrong with
some people just be playing too many games, and what people go to look at it as like you're playing too much. Now I quit. Now you still playing like?
Yeah. In their defense, it's like they're playing a lot of games, and you gotta be focused on every game you're playing.
Yeah.
You're not just trying to conquer one village at the same time, if you know what I mean. Now, one thing that we kind of all came across is the withholding sex game. When is the right time to give it up? When is the right time not to give it up? When is the right time to give head compared to fucking? You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is, withholding sex is the biggest game, or I ain't gonna say the biggest game, but it's the game most played. Depending on who you are, it kind of varies on when do you want to give it up. Sometimes that the sex is gonna be good, but you try to hold out because you're trying to make them either love you, buy you something, or pretty much put in a lot more work than you even really want them to. Yeah.
I think when you having sex, well, if you find somebody you like, that's part of playing the game, you're right? Like, I don't want to have sex with you because I want you to love me and I want you to get to know who I am and all this blah blah blah. But if you a good conqueror, you can hit that village in a second.
Yeah, in a second. And sometimes don't think you're a bad conqueror if it takes a while.
And don't think you're a horrible village if it didn't take a minute.
You're pretty weak. But it might be a peace treaty along the way.
You might wanted it too. Maybe that's when you're not playing the game no more when it comes to sex. Like, you playing the game with the whole texting and calling and all that stuff. But also when it comes to sex, we're not going to play this game. We know we both want it. So does that mean you're not playing the game when it comes down to sex?
I still look at it, you being conquered. I just lowered your defenses. Yeah. And sometimes you gotta put in a lot of work to get the good shit, and nothing's wrong with that. And that's in life. When you really work hard to get something, you appreciate it more.
You appreciate
it a lot more. And sometimes when you work hard to get a village and you realize they ain't even got water, it kind of wear you out because you put in all this motherfucking work and they don't suck dick. Don't have water.
Well, you said don't have water. I'm thinking of they ain't wet. What?
Shit, they ain't got water in their mouth to suck your dick. That's what I'm talking about.
Just dry all around.
That's dry. So sometimes you gotta know what type of village you're fighting for. Just because it's glimmering gold don't mean it's worth nothing. You know what I mean? Oh, hell.
Then sometimes you gotta make sure the village got them trees cut. But that's another topic. We're not gonna keep talking about that.
Okay.
You know them trees, them bushes.
Yes, I get it.
Wait, let me make sure you get it.
What other things does it come with playing games? The unnecessary lying. Intentionally not answering your phone, and then you finally talk to them, yeah, my battery died. Now, you could be telling the truth, but 9 out of 10 times, you're lying when it comes to any type of cell phone reason. When it comes to I was asleep, I didn't hear the phone was on silent, the battery died, I was on the other line, I wasn't on the other line, I was just asleep. It's all 9 out of 10 times lying. 9 out of 10 times lying. Because think about it, you call them, they don't answer, but then the next time they call you, they already got the reason why they didn't talk to you the night before. Because they're lying.
Now, when you know somebody playing games, should you tell that person, I know you playing games, or should you let that be?
I feel like when you let it known that, okay, like, I know you on game, you giving them the opportunity to create another strategy to fool you, or to play you, or to manipulate you. Sometimes you have to be strong and have patience and not be so quick to jab off. Sometimes you got to recognize that game, but still keep it inside enough to be like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing because he think he's pulling game on me, right, but I know his game. So if you know somebody's strategy, how can you not make it work to your advantage?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes you got to keep a hush lip. So if they keep on playing this tired-ass game, you can work it to your advantage. So don't always just so quick to just throw out there, I know you on bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah. Well, that right there was our topic 1, and I thank you guys for tuning in to that. Now it's time to move on to topic 2.